We welcome you all inside Studio 12 in the south end zone of Kyle Field. Will Johnson with you, and we begin this edition, as we do many of them, in the red zone. Texas A&M, the Aggies, getting set for their December 28th game against Kansas State in the Texas Bowl, the Advocare Texas Bowl at NRG Stadium. So one game to go in the football season, and we'll keep rolling with the red zone as long as he'll keep coming back. Connor McQueen with us again. And before we introduce your guests, I will kind of give a hint. It is a truly special edition of the Red Zone because we have specialists galore in studio today. But it was the award circuit last night, and it's sometimes, they say there's like that Susan Lucci. She always nominated for an Emmy or an Oscar or whatever she was nominated with, but didn't quite win the Oscar. But you got a little taste of that last night. The Holder of the Year was up for grabs last night.
I will start by saying I do not understand the reference.
Okay, it is an old school one, yes.
But
basically, she was nominated for a lot of awards.
Okay. I mean, through context clues, yes, I understood. I just want to give you a hard time there, but it was tough. I want to extend congratulations to Garrett Moores. I'm sure he's a big fan of the Red Zone. I'm sure he watches the show from up in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Yeah. All the time. So, congratulations, Garrett, and thank you to Peter for, considering me for such a prestigious nomination. Mm-hmm. It was fun and, just a great honor to be mentioned in such company. And, that's going to lead me to introducing my guest because, I really wouldn't have been able to be in that position without my snapper, Christian Robertson, and my glorious kicker, Daniel LaCamera.
Glorious.
I mean, look at the hair.
It's got
the flop.
Well, you're from Florida, Daniel.
Yes.
There's some SEC to that hair.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How long you had it like that?
Basically since high school.
Really?
Yeah.
So this goes back before Aggie.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Good stuff. The Holder of the Year, you mentioned Garrett Moores of Michigan wins it. You won, I think you said, the fan vote part of it, though, didn't you?
That's true, and
it's an election year. It's kind of like the popular vote.
Right,
you won
right.
it.
and I think I have a little bit more, I guess per se, class than a lot of the political figures going around right now.
You'll accept the results.
I'm going to accept the results. We're not exactly sure what algorithm was determined or used to determine the actual winner of the award, whether it was a combination of multiple things or just ultimately Peter's choice.
He just
we're gonna accept the results, but that was good to see that Aggieland pulled through and we did still win the popular vote.
Yeah, good stuff there. So again, on the Red Zone, we have with us Connor McQueen, Christian Robertson, and Daniel LaCamera. And Christian, are you proud of your boy? He took the popular vote. He was right there in it at the end. And just got nipped out by the Michigan Holder.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I obviously have my own opinions on what the outcome should have been, but
now wait, are you going to accept the results?
Hey, Connor has to accept the results because he was the one in the limelight, but I can be the guy in the shadows who just goes ahead and denies it.
Kind of a campaign manager.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, my boy's number one.
There you go. Daniel, you going to accept the results?
I'm right with Christian.
There you go. You've got two on the soapbox.
Make my job easier.
Yeah. We kind of talked to Connor about this before the season started, and just the dynamics of place kicking is somewhat truly fascinating. It's a three-part thing. It starts with you, Christian. Mm-hmm. And I know you mentioned, Connor, you almost like to receive the ball in a certain way so you can get it spinned in a certain way for Daniel. But the start is with you, like I said, Christian. Mm-hmm. Your mindset, whether it's a PAT or a field goal from the beginning, I mean, do you hold the ball a certain way? Because I know you, like I said, you like to get it back to Connor in a certain way.
No, the whole goal is to get it back to Connor to where he doesn't have to spin the ball at all, where the laces are up. And sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. As of late, I've been doing a better job of it. But what I do is I give a quarter rotation of the ball so the laces are kind of right here on the ball, and then I'm not holding the laces; they're just kind of sitting there on their own.
So you don't have the laces on the side.
No, I grab seams.
You call ready, then it's up to Christian. Is that correct? on the snap?
I won't go into the details of our snap cadence in fear of Bill Snyder actually watching the show.
True.
But
That's true. I nearly blew it there.
It's a little bit of both, and then I give the final okay that we're ready to go.
Okay. All right. We'll keep that on the down low with the Texas
Got
Bowl
to.
coming up. But so upon receiving the snap, I would think that is so difficult on Christian to get it to you every time to not spin it. I mean, there's got to be a little bit into that. That's a 7 to 8 yard snap.
Right.
I mean,
and we do 8 yards, so that's even more room for to say imperfections in that. But he does a phenomenal job, and just throughout the season is in progressing, getting better and better each game, and it's something that we practiced a whole lot to where our operation's so quick. Knock on wood, but I mean we still haven't had anything blocked just because of our operation time is so good. From the time the ball snapped to the time the ball's kicked, it's usually a pretty good time.
And Daniel, is the 7 to 8 yards, is that your preference? Is it Jeff Banks? Is it Connor? How does it work on deciding? Because I've seen the snap go back 7 yards, not for any, but for some teams 7, for some teams 8. Is there something that goes into the choice of all that?
Well, back in high school, I used to do 7, and that was strictly a coach's preference, and same with college.
Okay.
Coach Banks likes to go 8 yards.
He can get vocal, so you don't want to question him too much.
Right. It's just the way that he prefers to do it with his protection schemes.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, it is so interesting what goes into the dynamic. And, Daniel, do you know, I mean, whether it's a PAT, and I guess you always feel pretty consistent with those, but say you get out to the 30, the 40-yarders, do you know the moment you hit it? I don't know if you want to say if it's good or not, but did you hit it good
Absolutely.
or not? Yeah, I mean, and can you tell the moment it comes off, at least give a high percentage of, all right, this one's going or this one's not?
Absolutely. There's usually before I even pick my head up, I can tell whether I made it or not. And it's usually off of my how I do my plant foot or the contact that I feel, and that'll usually tell me if I made it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No, the plant foot, see?
Yeah,
More dynamic.
A lot of times I have quite a bit of pressure holding down the ball whenever I'm holding it there just to get it to stop spinning at times before Daniel kicks it. And a lot of times I can feel just by the way that that feels coming off of, coming off of his foot, but just the vibrations of it coming off of how I feel it with my hands, that I can kind of feel whenever he hits it real clean to see if he got under it a little bit or if he made solid contact.
Can a good place kick sound much different than a bad one? Do you
Absolutely.
go off sound?
Yeah.
But all you get to do, Christian, is listen. I mean,
Yeah.
you got
Yeah, when I hear a big thud, then
Yeah.
I know, like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah, because you guys, this is so much repetition. I think you're just so ingrained in this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You almost can just foresee things as far as that kick sailing through or wide
Pretty
right
much.
or wide left. But, yeah, fascinating stuff. And now, like we said, we take it over to the Texas Bowl December 28th at NRG Stadium. Hometown for you. I mean, how many family are you going to have there?
As many tickets as I can pull together.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's kind of full circle to close it there, isn't it? I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. But just your thoughts when you heard the assignment. This SEC Bowl process is very interesting. And I know last year when we went to the Music City Bowl, and even the Liberty Bowl the year before, I think you had predictions changing hands,
Right.
Quickly that day. But your thoughts when you heard the assignment and the opponent for the Aggies, the Texas Bowl on December 28th?
I guess, I was excited to be able to go home so I could have a lot of friends and family at the game. But it is a little bit of an earlier bowl game than we've been used to playing in. That is on the 28th. So my second thought was are we going to be able to go home or be at home on Christmas or whatnot? But the way that Coach Sumlin sets the schedule up, he really wants us to be able to be with our families at least for a little while on Christmas and around the holidays. So we'll actually be able to be at home a little bit on Christmas Day before we come back to College Station. We'll practice in College Station on Christmas afternoon and then drive down Houston after that. So, we'll get a little bit of time there, a 3-4 day. I think it's 3.5 days to be with our family for the holidays. So that's great.
That's a good deal. And, Christian, do you get enamored when you hear, like, postseason opponent, when it's Kansas State, Bill Snyder, one of the great names in the game that you guys will go against? Or is it more you want to know where you're going, not so much who you're playing?
I think it's kind of cool to know that we're going to get to play against like a college football legend, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like a business trip, like we always say. We're playing a football game. Doesn't really matter who the opponent is because we always talk about it's about us. So that's kind of what I get to focus on, and obviously where we're going is important too. Like in Houston, being that it's early, we'll be close to home and all that kind of stuff. It's nice for travel purposes, but like last year we went to Nashville and it was awesome. I'd never been to Nashville, got to check that out. So the whole bowl dynamic, just who we're playing, where we're going, all that stuff, all of it's a pretty exciting process.
And Daniel, you can admit it. Did you have some hope for the Outback Bowl in Tampa?
I did have some hope for the Outback Bowl, just because that'd be a great experience going back and having a lot of people back home being able to go out and see me. But it's great that it's here because I know a lot of the guys are around here, and it's great for them.
Tarpon Springs, I know you mentioned it's in the Tampa area, right?
Yes, sir.
Your hometown. And I always find it interesting, the out-of-state recruit. When did A&M jump on your radar? Was it a call from Jeff Banks while you're in high school, or did you maybe seek some things out? And also, the recruiting of a place kicker might be a little different as well. Can you kind of take us through your recruiting process to come into A&M?
Well, Jeff Banks actually flew down and came to one of my practices, and he wanted to see me kick, and that really sparked my attention for A&M. And me and my dad started looking into the program more. And I fell in love with the program and with everything that it holds in the school itself. And then that's really how I made my decision. And that was around my junior year of high school.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that you got the two Aggie specialists now on one team in the NFL with Lambeau and Kaiser over there in San Diego. Do you keep in contact with those guys at all, or does anybody get to talk to them? Maybe it's because I know Bertolette may have, but now he's exited the program. But does anybody get any contact with those guys? I know Banks does a little bit.
I know Shane talks to Drew quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I've talked to Josh, here and there throughout the season, just because him and I were actually roommates on the whenever we traveled on the road for a year and a half. Whenever I was holding for him, so we still maintain a little bit of contact, just good luck here and there, and saying hope everything's going well, things like that.
Kaiser was holding for him, wasn't he?
A little
for
bit.
Lambeau.
Oh yes,
and I think they moved it over to a quarterback or a receiver or something like that.
Yeah, they moved to their backup quarterback.
Like the Aggies did.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Also, the dynamic that rolls into Christmas, because you mentioned that you guys want Christmas, you want to be with your families. There's always bowl game obligations along with that. Now, Christmas Day is so much; it's been a travel day to bowl games in the past, and that always adds something to it for you guys.
Yeah, I think we've had our family Christmas actually on the 24th, probably the last 3 or 4 years, other than the Chick-fil-A Bowl and the Cotton Bowl. We didn't really have to do that, but that was before y'all's time here.
Yeah.
He's looking at the youngsters over here. Yeah. What are the family traditions, the staples of Christmas for each of you? Is there anything that the family must do on Christmas that I don't know if you call it unusual, or is it just basically the dinner and the opening of the presents for each of you?
Well, I know with my dad, we have to have the Christmas story on no matter what happens.
Okay. Is that the Red Ryder BB gun one?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Shoot your eye out.
Yes.
So he makes you run
all day. There's like a 24-hour showing, and we're just replays, and we always have that on.
Do you love it or get sick of it?
The first 2 times I watch it, it's kind of like tradition. I love it because it's just like Christmas time. But then after that, it's like, can we please change the channel?
See, I've heard of families doing that with that show and Christmas Vacation as well.
Yeah.
The Chevy Chase one. Christian, what about your family? Is Grapevine where you still would go home to see everybody?
Yeah, that's where I'll go home to for Christmas.
Okay. Any traditions, staples?
We're kind of the same way. We do Christmas Story, and we keep that on for about 12 hours, and then we all just get sick of it. And then we make the transition to Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
That's our Christmas movie.
You combo
Vacation.
it.
Yeah, definitely. Got to.
Yeah. Anything from the McQueens?
Not necessarily. I think we put on the Mariah Carey Christmas soundtrack for about 15 minutes, and then we kind of get all tired of it, so we turn that off. But it's really just kind of spending time with my immediate family and getting to hang out since a lot of times we don't all get back together. So, it's nice just to sit in the living room. And we have 2 miniature dachshunds. So, they require a lot of attention, too.
I got a feeling like a mini Santa hat goes on those guys or something.
I don't want to get into that.
I got a feeling they get decorated
Yes.
or dressed up.
They have multiple sweaters. And
we'll leave it at multiple sweaters. Yeah.
I think the sweaters are great, Mom. I think they're great.
Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. For your money, what is the best Christmas song out there? Anybody can go at any time.
Oh, yeah. That's a tough one. I don't know. I dig the Michael Bublé Christmas album.
Just the album, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I can't put my finger on one, but I think he's got
This
the
is
best
like
Christmas album out there right now.
It's like the movie Office Space when they question him about Michael Bolt. He's like, "Wow, I love them all.
Yeah.
I love them all." They cherish his entire catalog. Best Christmas song for you, Connor? I'm thinking something about Mariah Carey now. If you're
I'm trying to think. I can't think of the name of it.
sing it.
I will not. I think I'll just have to go Jingle Bell Rock then.
Jingle Bell Rock. All right, Daniel, you got one?
I was gonna go Jingle Bells, just classic.
Oh man, you guys got to dig into more Christmas music.
Yeah, I will say.
I've never
It's the best
I've
stuff.
never been a real big Christmas music guy.
Oh man,
I'm gonna shoot you straight.
If
Never-
you're going like,
Never been deep in the Christmas music game.
if you're going like a carol or a choir hymn, that's Hark the Herald. That's mine.
Mhm.
That's number one.
Mhm.
Now, if you're going like the mainstream, the
Right.
pop or the country music person singing it, check out Alan Jackson, Let It Be Christmas. Best one by far.
All
So you
right.
guys got to dig into this stuff.
All right.
You got projects now. You got to find out who Susan Lucci is. And you got to dig into
Maybe-
more Christmas
You need to
music.
bring my notepad.
But yeah. But one final thing to all of you guys. The bowl games, one of the things we hear when you go down to these things, I mean, there's so many of them now,
Mhm.
quite frankly. You get all these questions of who is the most motivated to play the bowl game, the postseason contest, because you go through. I always thought it would kind of be hard for SEC teams because you go through the grind of that league and you play so many big games and big stadiums. Even a bowl game can almost seem a little ho-hum once you get there. But you guys have been successful in the Kevin Sumlin era, 3-1 in bowl games thus far. When you think about biggest motivation for you in a bowl game, and I'll start over there with you, Daniel, biggest motivation for you in a bowl game, what would you say it is coming up on December 28th?
Well, to be honest, it's really what the entire season is based upon, and don't let the entire season go to waste, because this is our reward and this is our way of going out and sending the seniors out with a win. And to me, honestly, it's for the seniors. I want to send them out with a win because they've done so much for the team.
Christian, for you?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I mean, it's the seniors' last time to play as a part of this team, this family that they've grown a part of, and we kind of want to give them the right send-off. I mean, you never want to send these guys out with a bitter taste in their mouths.
That's kind of, I asked you last, Connor, because it's kind of different because you are that senior.
Right.
And, you want to win in your last game. Is there any different motivations for you, or do you just keep it right at that? Look, I want to be victorious in my last game in the maroon and white.
Yeah, and I think that's it. And going from another aspect in terms of just the program, it's the start of the next season, really, for a lot of these guys that are returning, because you can gain momentum from this bowl game going forward. I mean, you look at Louisville last year, and we played them in a very tight game, but they took the momentum of that game, and their quarterback may end up winning the Heisman Trophy tomorrow night. And, they had a very successful season until the last 2 games of the year. But, they carried that momentum from the win that they had against us in the bowl game. And I think that that's something that we're looking to do. But then also, for me, I definitely want to go out with a win. My last game as a football player, I definitely want to, be victorious in that. And I think it'd be a great way to cap off my career here.
Well, all the best in going to get it, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, that's our latest edition of the Red Zone, and like I said, a special one, because I had the specialists in here with Connor McQueen, Christian Robertson, and Daniel LaCamera. Again, thank you guys so much for your time. Merry Christmas to all of you and your families.